Section 1. Listening Comprehension. In this section of the test, you will have an opportunity to demonstrate your ability to understand conversations and talks in English. There are 3 parts to this section, with special directions for each part. Answer all the questions on the basis of what is stated or implied by the speakers you hear. Do not take notes or write in your test book at any time. Do not turn the pages until you are told to do so. Part A. Directions. In Part A, you will hear short conversations between 2 people. After each conversation, you will hear a question about the conversation. The conversations and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your test book and choose the best answer. Then, on your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Now we will begin Part A with the first conversation.
Number 1. Let's go watch the fireworks tonight.
I have tickets to the theater.
What does the woman mean? Number 2.
Do you think you could give me a ride to the library tonight?
I'd like to, but I'm heading in the other direction. I'm meeting Jean tonight.
What does the man mean? Number 3. I don't understand how this budget was calculated.
Let me have a look, okay?
What does the woman mean? Number 4.
I'm going to the snack bar for a cup of coffee. Would you like me to bring you back something?
Not from the snack bar, but could you pick up a paper for me? What does the man mean? Number 5.
I'll be coming straight from work, so I'll have to pack a change of clothes.
It's only a barbecue. Jeans and a t-shirt will be fine.
What does the woman imply? Number 6.
Man, I'm exhausted. I stayed up the whole night studying for my history midterm exam.
Why do you always wait till the last minute?
What can be inferred about the man? Number 7.
Have you saved enough to buy that new printer for your computer yet?
You know, money seems to be burning a hole in my pocket lately. Maybe next month.
What does the man mean? Number 8.
We need a 4th player for tennis this morning. Do you want to join us?
I've got a class at 9, but Carol's free and she's really good.
What does the man suggest the woman do? Number 9.
I want to pay you for that long-distance call I made, but I suppose you haven't gotten your phone bill yet.
Oh, but I have. What does the man mean? Number 10.
I've had my new stereo for a whole week, but I haven't yet figured out how to record a cassette.
Didn't an instruction manual come with it?
What does the woman imply? Number 11. Is there a candy machine in this building?
Uh-huh. It's down the hall on your left, but it has an out-of-order sign on it.
What does the woman mean? Number 12.
I've had it with being sick in bed. I've read most of these magazines twice.
Well, if it'll help, I'll run to the store and get you some new ones. What will the man probably do? Number 13.
You know, I've been watering my plants regularly, but they're still not doing well in my new dorm room.
Maybe instead of keeping them in the corner, you should put them directly in front of the window.
What does the woman imply? Number 14.
I think I'll take my mother to that French restaurant on Main Street for her birthday.
I hope it's not any time soon. They're usually booked up weeks in advance.
What does the man mean? Number 15.
That famous violinist our professor was talking about is going to be the soloist in next week's concert.
Great! I don't want to miss it. Where can we get tickets?
What will the speakers probably do next week?
Number 16.
On second thought, I'm going to take statistics instead of computer science.
Are you sure this time?
What does the man tell the woman? Number 17.
What did you think of the opera you saw Saturday night?
Frankly, I don't have much to compare it with.
What does the man imply? Number 18.
Here's the tape, some scissors, and some brown paper.
Thanks. Now, I just need to find Richard's address.
What is the man probably going to do? Number 19.
Bob was late for the dinner because he was helping his roommate.
Isn't that just like Bob?
What does the woman imply about Bob? Number 20.
What did you think of Brenda's story?
To tell you the truth, I found it hard to keep a straight face while she was telling it.
How did the man feel about the story? Number 21.
Is this Dr. Goldsmith's office?
No, this is room 301. Dr. Goldsmith's office is right downstairs from here.
Where is Dr. Goldsmith's office? Number 22.
I saw Suzanne at the meeting this afternoon.
Yeah, she was the last person I expected to see there.
What does the man imply about Suzanne? Number 23.
Marie's picture was in the newspaper.
Oh? What for?
What does the woman ask? Number 24.
Traffic was so bad on the way to the airport that I almost missed my flight to Boston.
I could have told you that it would be.
What does the woman mean? Number 25.
That seafood restaurant on College Avenue is going to close down after just 2 months.
So I heard. Too bad.
What does the man mean? Number 26.
Here you are, sir. A hamburger and a large drink.
Wait a second. That's what you call large?
What does the man imply? Number 27.
Peter, want to play softball?
No, I have to go down to the lumber yard now. I'm building some bookshelves.
What will Peter probably do next? Number 28.
No, Emma's not here. She went to choir practice.
Oh, she must be feeling much better then.
What had the man assumed about Emma? Number 29.
How did you find out about this lecture series?
Just through word of mouth.
What does the woman say about the lecture series? Number 30.
Have you decided whether you're staying at the Buckley House or the Sherman Hotel during the conference?
I didn't have to decide. The Buckley was already completely booked.
What can be inferred from this conversation?
This is the end of Part A. Go on to the next page.
Now read along as the directions for Part B are being read. The test continues on side 2. Part B. Directions. In this part of the test, you will hear longer conversations. After each conversation, you will hear several questions. The conversations and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your test book and choose the best answer. Then, on your answer sheet, find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Remember, you are not allowed to take notes or write in your test book. Go on to the next page. Questions 31 through 34. Listen to a conversation at a bicycle shop.
Hi, John.
Oh, hi, Laura. What are you doing here?
I'm usually here on weekends. It's my dad's shop. So, you're looking for a bike?
Yeah, now that the weather's warming up, I thought I'd get some exercise instead of taking the bus all the time.
Well, you came to the right place. Do you know what you'd like?
Well, I don't want a racer or a touring bike or anything. Mostly I'll just be using it to get me back and forth from work.
How far is that?
About 4 miles.
Are there a lot of hills on the way?
Some, I guess, but maybe I should just tell you up front that I've only got $150. Can I get anything decent for that?
Well, you're not going to get anything top of the line, but we do have a few trade-ins in the back that are in good condition.
That sounds good.
And you're right. For the kind of riding you're going to be doing, the most important thing is comfort. You want to make sure it's the right height for you. Follow me and I'll show you what we've got.
Number 31. Why is Laura at the bicycle shop? Number 32. Why does John want to buy a bicycle? Number 33. What does Laura suggest that John do? Number 34. What does Laura say is most important about a bike? Questions 35 through 39. Listen to a conversation between two students.
Hi, Lynn. I saw you at registration yesterday. I sailed right through, but you were standing in a long line.
Yeah, I waited an hour to sign up for a distance learning course.
Distance learning? Never heard of it.
Well, it's new this semester. It's only open to psychology majors. But I bet it'll catch on elsewhere. Yesterday, over 100 students signed up.
Well, what is it?
It's an experimental course. I registered for child psychology. All I've got to do is watch a 12-week series of televised lessons. The department shows them several different times a day and in several different locations.
Don't you ever have to meet with your professor?
Yeah. After each part of the series, I have to talk to her and the other students on the phone, you know, about our ideas. Then we'll meet on campus 3 times for reviews and exams.
It sounds pretty non-traditional to me, but I guess it makes sense, considering how many students have jobs. It must really help with their schedules, not to mention how it'll cut down on traffic.
You know, last year my department did a survey, and they found out that 80% of all psychology majors were employed. That's why they came up with the program. Look, I'll be working 3 days a week next semester, and it was either cut back on my classes or try this out.
The only thing is, doesn't it seem impersonal, though? I mean, I'd miss having class discussions and hearing what other people think.
Well, I guess that's why phone contact's important. Anyway, it's an experiment. Maybe I'll end up hating it.
Maybe, but I'll be curious to see how it works out.
Number 35. Where did the man see the woman yesterday? Number 36. How is the distance learning course different from traditional courses? Number 37. What do the speakers agree is the major advantage of the distance learning course? Number 38. Why did the woman decide to enroll in the distance learning course? Number 39. What does the man think is a disadvantage of distance learning?
This is the end of Part B. Go on to the next page. Now read along with me as I read the directions for Part C. Remember, you should not read ahead or turn the pages while the directions for this part are being read. Part C. Directions. In this part of the test, you will hear several talks. After each talk, you will hear some questions. The talks and questions will not be repeated. After you hear a question, read the 4 possible answers in your test book and choose the best answer. Then, on your answer sheet, Find the number of the question and fill in the space that corresponds to the letter of the answer you have chosen. Remember, you are not allowed to take notes or write in your test book. Now we will begin Part C with the first talk.
Questions 40 through 43. Listen to a student report in a United States history class.
So, as Jim said, James Polk was the 11th president, and, well, my report's about the next president, Zachary Taylor. Taylor was elected in 1849. It's surprising because, well, he was the first president that didn't have any previous political experience. The main reason he was chosen as a candidate was because he was a war hero. In the Army, his men called him Old Rough and Ready, I guess because of his rough edges. He was kind of blunt, and he didn't really look like a military hero. He liked to do things like wear civilian clothes instead of a uniform, even in battle. And he was so short and plump he had to be lifted up onto his horse. But he did win a lot of battles, and he became more and more popular. So the Whig Party decided to nominate him for the presidency, even though no one knew anything about where he stood on the issues. I couldn't find much about his accomplishments, probably because he was only in office about a year and a half before he died. But one thing, he pushed for the development of the Transcontinental Railroad because he thought it was important to form a link with the West Coast. There was a lot of wealth in California and Oregon from commerce and minerals and stuff. Also, he established an agricultural bureau in the Department of the Interior and promoted more government aid to agriculture. Well, that's about all I found. Like I said, he died in office in 1850, so his vice president took over, and that's the next report. So, thank you.
Number 40. Why was Zachary Taylor chosen by his party as a candidate for president? Number 41. According to the speaker, why is it surprising that Taylor was elected president? Number 42. Why did Taylor accomplish relatively little as president? Number 43. What will the class probably do next? Questions 44 through 46. Listen to a talk at a special event.
I want to welcome each and every balloon enthusiast to Philadelphia. Thank you for coming here this morning to commemorate the first balloon voyage in the United States. On January 9th, 1793, at 10 o'clock in the morning, a silk balloon lifted into the skies above this city, which was, at the time, the capital of the country. According to the original records of the flight, the voyage lasted 46 minutes, from its departure in Philadelphia to its landing across the Delaware River in New Jersey. Though our pilots today will try to approximate the original landing site, they're at the mercy of the winds, so who knows where they'll drift off to. Even the balloonist in 1793 experienced some uncertain weather that day. There were clouds, fog, and mist in various directions. Our reenactment promises to be nothing less than spectacular. The yellow balloon directly behind me is 5 stories high. It's inflated with helium, unlike the original, which was filled with hydrogen, and, unbeknownst to the pilot, potentially explosive. Gas-filled models are pretty uncommon now because of the extremely high cost. So the 80 other balloons in today's launch are hot air, heated by propane burners. These balloons are from all over the country.
Number 44. What is the purpose of the balloon launch? Number 45. What problem might today's pilots encounter? Number 46. What does the speaker imply about helium balloons?
Questions 47 to 50. Listen to part of a lecture given in an anthropology class.
Students, have you ever been to a potluck dinner where all the guests bring a different dish? The English word potluck is believed to come from an American Indian word, potlatch. Today, we're going to continue our discussion of Native American ceremonies by taking a look at this fascinating ceremonial activity, the potlatch. The potlatch was practiced among all the tribes of Native Americans who lived in the Pacific Northwest region of North America. Among members of these cultures, the concepts of prestige and rank were very important, and potlatches were the primary way to advance their social position. The potlatch reached its most elaborate form among a tribe called the Kwakiutl, who lived in British Columbia, Canada. Potlatches were held to commemorate important events in the families of the hosts, such as births, naming ceremonies, or marriages. After feasting and dancing, the host would give away valuable gifts, such as blankets, jewelry, or food. So, potlatches were a little like our birthday parties in reverse. At potlatches, the host might also throw copper money into the sea and destroy some of his most valuable possessions, such as canoes. As for the guests at potlatches, well, it was their turn next. They were required to hold potlatches of their own and to give away even more valuable gifts than they had received. As you can see, potlatches were a form of investment.
Number 47. What is the speaker primarily describing in this talk? Number 48. According to the speaker, which of the following groups held potlatches? Number 49. According to the speaker, what was a host's primary purpose for having a potlatch? Number 50. Why does the speaker refer to a potlatch as a form of investment?
This is the end of Section 1, Listening Comprehension. Stop work on Section 1. This is a reminder. At the end of the test, the supervisor will collect all of the test books. You may not leave until all of the test books have been collected.